Okay, let's get into it. Foods for fat loss. You'll often say people, and I would have said this at one point, there's no such thing as foods for fat loss. And then after going through competition prep, I realized, oh, maybe there is. Maybe there actually is. Now, what I mean by this is there's no individual foods that are going to cause fat loss, but you need to choose the right foods. You need to learn how to, reduce calorie dense foods because they're just not going to work for you. I like to use the 80-20 rule, which I'll go into more detail. And then how can all of this can help you lower hunger and give you, potentially higher energy, and then calorie swaps for a shopping list. So choosing more nutrient dense foods. Like, I think everyone knows this. Everyone knows this, but we live in this day and age where unfortunately we are full of highly processed foods, which we got to just kind of learn how to, I think, move past a little bit and get on with it a little bit. But we still have our rice, our chicken, our lean meats, our vegetables, our yogurts. These are nutrient dense foods, okay? Nutrient dense, they have potentially a lot of volume, very good macronutrient content, protein, carbs, and fats. And essentially, nutrient dense is, they'll have less calories and a lot more nutrients. Calorie dense being the opposite, a lot more calories, less nutrients. You want to look at having more nutrient dense foods in your food. This is like how you stay healthy during a fat loss phase and how you actually lose body fat. Your body will metabolize these things much, much better. Now, the food choices is going to be up to you. For me, I like rice, I like potatoes. Largely speaking, I prefer potatoes because my digestive system works quite well with it. All right. And you'll discover this a little bit more. I love fruits. I'm fortunate enough that I actually love fruits. So I like pears, I like bananas, I like apples. I'll use them as snacks throughout the day. And I quite enjoy vegetables as added bulk to my meals, and then lean mints and yogurts. They're the sort of things that you want to look at. These things will help lower your hunger levels because they're so nutrient dense, right? Say a big bowl of vegetables, a big bowl of vegetables you eat, you feel full. Why? Fills up your stomach. As I said, once your stomach is full, it'll send a signal to your brain saying, we're full. We don't need anything else. So these nutrient dense foods largely have a lot more volume. And when it comes to managing hunger and food cravings, you need more volume. You need to get more food in. You need to eat more for less calories, essentially. So, as I just mentioned there, allow you to eat more for less calories. That's the aim of the game of fat loss for a small period of time, couple of weeks, couple of months. You are trying to make sure you continue to eat a lot more. And I often see this with clients. I start helping them with their diet. Like, I'm eating way too much. I'm like, no, you're not. You just ate crap before this, and the stuff that you ate was just so high in calories. Now we got to swap that. Swap a couple of things out, add a little bit of this in, add a little bit of that in. Now it feels like you're eating more because you are technically eating more, but it's much less calories, which is why you're not experiencing hunger and food cravings. And that's the aim of the game here. Reducing calorie dense foods. I've gone into this already, but look, there's nothing wrong with these type of foods. We can have them in moderation. I have a donut literally sitting for me right outside right now. But you gotta have nutrient dense foods in first. This morning, I actually, believe it or not, I had steak with a bagel. I had a serving of fruit, and I can fit this in without feeling like the urge to overindulge. So you need to fill yourself up on nutrient dense foods first, and then use these for exactly what they are: treats. They're little treats, okay? Not to get you by for the whole day. So these have obviously lower volumes. Like one slice of pizza is 300 calories, and I could eat a large pizza no problem, which is about 3,500 calories. A handful of sweets or cupcakes and donuts are my biggest downfall. I could sit there and eat these all day and easily consume 3 or 4 thousand calories, no problem. A lot of people can, they just don't realize it. And the calories add up. Same with crisps and bars of chocolate. Um, these do increase hunger. They do increase food cravings as well. You got to understand how these work. There's a combination of carbs and fats, which will trigger your brain to say, give me more, because it tastes so good. So the more of this you have, the more you're going to struggle with your food cravings. And it's going to be very hard for you to stay in a calorie deficit. So that's why foods are actually very important when it comes to fat loss. And when I see this crap like, just stay in a calorie deficit and eat what you like, that's not how it works. That's just not how it works. Trust me, it's not that easy. I always have a treat every evening. I always have a bit of chocolate. As I said today, I'm going to have a donut. Um, I have takeaways every now and then, but 80% of my foods come from good nutrient dense food source, which is why I use the 80-20 rule. Okay. These can also have a hunger or effect on mood and energy. We all know this. Everyone knows this. When you eat a big massive pizza, you feel like crap, you know? So those foods don't really help us if we're trying to stay a little bit more productive during the week, etc. 80% of your foods, try and make sure to come from nutrient dense food sources. Try and have 80% of your diet. This is the way I look at it. My meal one, meal two, meal three, which is breakfast, lunch, dinner, I make sure they're very good. They have a bit of fruits, they have a bit of vegetables, and lean proteins for all three meals. And then I might have snacks in between, which is usually veg or fruits. And then towards the end of the day, I'll have my treat. I'll have my bit of chocolate with my Greek yogurt, or whatever it may be. Okay, and that's why you want to look at it. You want 20% of your calories to come 20 percent of your calories to come from nutrient dense food sources, but make sure you look at the first 80%. I cannot stress this enough. If you're not willing to make this change, and if it's on the flip, if 80% of your diet comes from calorie dense food sources and only 20% from nutrient, not only is your health going to be at risk long term, you are going to struggle with hunger and food cravings. When you're trying to lose body fat, hunger and food cravings is the number one reason why people fail. They can't stick to it long enough. They can't stick to whatever the diet is they're trying to eat. You need to manage that as best as possible. This approach helps maintain a good relationship with food. You hear this all the time. Have a good relationship with food. And it is important. It is important that you learn to understand that by having a donut, it's not going to cause you to gain body fat. That's not what we're trying to do here, all right? So you need to have a little bit of flexibility. You need to be able to have a takeaway once a week and enjoy yourself with your partner, or head out with friends and colleagues. And you can incorporate all this in if you follow this rule, all right? So less restrictive eating options. So real life, as I just mentioned, getting out, socializing, mingling, but learning how to having good food sources, good choices. And then when it's time to come and have a treat or have a takeaway, you know how to go with the best option. As I said, this is all about lowering hunger and giving you higher energy levels. If you do that, if you're someone who's very new to this and you start adding more nutrient dense food sources in and then reducing your calorie dense food sources in, your productivity will go through the roof. Your food hunger and food cravings will go down dramatically. I cannot stress this enough. Like, you will feel like you're on top of the world. Why? Because like nutrient dense food sources, they metabolize a lot better. Your body generally breaks them down a lot better because you're not overindulging. Your body doesn't it's not running around sluggish trying to digest all this crap food. It's digesting good food. And because of that, you feel a lot more better. If you're getting, a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, you have more micronutrients, which start to improve your overall health. And this is where I see so many people go wrong. They're out trying to find this special diet. It's like, my God, don't overcomplicate this at all. Keep it very simple. Get a good source of protein in, a good source of carbs, some fats. Make sure you're in a calorie deficit or maintenance or whatever it is where you're at in your stage. And then have a little bit of a treat here and there and do a bit of exercise. It couldn't be any more simpler, okay? Calorie swaps. You will see a lot of videos right now, and I'm seeing them all over the place. Oh, low fat, this has high sugar. Listen, we're trying to reduce calories, and lower fat products, generally speaking, have lower calories and higher protein consumption. If they have more sugar, who cares? You're not worried about that. You're worried about getting an increase in protein, and you're worried about sticking to a calorie deficit. So don't be getting your head wrapped up by this crap that you're seeing from extremely uneducated individuals who are just copying some other gobshite's video. If you're trying to reduce body fat, the best thing to do is do calorie swaps. Look at all your foods. Say if you're having high fat yogurt, reduce it to low fat yogurt. Okay? Everyone does this. This is the best approach. Trust me. If you're having, like, say, butter, go for low fat butter. You're trying to reduce your calories, regardless of whether it has a little bit more sugar or a little bit more this. It's not the end of the world. We need protein and we need calories. We need to make sure we're in a deficit to lose body fat. That is the goal here. Once you succeed at that, when you lose body fat, if I do blood tests, your blood markers will dramatically improve. We have seen time and time again that people just eat McDonald's for a month and losing weight because they remain in a calorie deficit and improve their overall health. One guy ate Twinkies for a month. He was a professor over in the US. Because when you reduce body fat, you reduce fatty deposits. When you reduce fatty deposits in your body, you improve your health. Now, I'm not saying go and being, for all those reasons here, you shouldn't be obviously in a calorie deficit and bad foods because it's very hard to manage. But calorie swaps for that small period, low fat yogurt, low fat milk, protein yogurts, these are going to help you massively. Okay. We have a shopping list that will give you, some ideas of this. You don't need to go too crazy with it, but going for lower fat products that have lower calories, higher protein is going to make your life a little bit easy. All right. That's it for now.